Hello everyone, welcome to our video. I am Deniz Alptekin and we are in with a different content with you. This is an interview video and the issue of our interview is the resolution paper and the writing of the resolution paper. And the guest of our interview is Hilal Beyza Taşdemir. Is going to explain the writing a resolution paper secondly. And first of all, I am going to explain what is the resolution paper to you. First of all, welcome to our interview, Mrs. Taşdemir. Before the starting our interview, can you introduce yourself, please?
For sure. My name is Hilal Beyza Taşdemir. I'm 16 and I'm a junior year student at the moment. I'm the president of Antalya Fen Model United Nations Society and I'm glad to be here today.
Thank you so much. So I will start to explain what is the resolution paper now. Resolution paper, which is the contain the proposition ideas for the agenda item with WH questions in J committees, and then also the delegates should write the resolution paper in unmoderated caucus because this is a process. And also, as you know, there are motion cards in United Nations Conference, moderated caucus, and also unmoderated caucus. But we just can write a resolution paper in unmoderated caucus also. And then there are the many sections in the resolution paper. The delegates should write committee name, agenda items, sponsors, and also signatures. For example, for UNHRC committee, committee name is UNHRC committee, with full name is United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees. For example, agenda item is Syrian refugee crisis, and signatures and also sponsors. By the way, the delegates can sign more than one resolution paper in the committee. So if there is two or maximum three resolution paper in the conferences, the delegates also can write to the all resolution papers. So that's all, and I will give a permission to our guest. Thank you so much again. And can you explain the process of writing a resolution paper, please, in detail?
Okay. So actually, we do not exactly writing the resolution paper at the first step because resolution paper is something we call after the voting process of the documents we have produced. So we do have some steps to have a resolution paper, which we call as a working paper, then a draft resolution paper, and then after the voting process of the draft resolution paper, we have got a resolution paper. In a voting paper, we try to write everything we have discussed in a committee in a flexible way. There is no format, there is no rules. You can just write it in the most effective way. So when you start to write the draft resolution paper, you can look back on the voting paper and then you can format it and then you can have a draft resolution paper. But when it comes to draft resolution paper, you need some procedural format because like this, when it is voted upon, when draft resolution is voted upon, you will have a legitimate United Nations document. I mean, it will be a simulationary because it's an MUN, but still, this is how everything works. And when it comes to draft resolution paper, we actually separate everything in three parts. Firstly, we have to start with the heading parts, which you also have stated. We need to write the sponsors, the signatories, and the title of the agenda item. When it comes to the sponsors are the countries who both write the agenda item and also promote not the agenda item, I'm sorry, who both write the draft resolution paper, and then promote it, who are the supporters of the draft resolution paper. But when it comes to the signatories are the countries who want to see this draft resolution paper discussed in the committee, who do not necessarily completely support it, but they do want to see it. And then you need to write the topic of the agenda item, and then you can move on to the real writing process of the draft resolution paper. In the second step, which we call as the preambulatory clauses, we actually are writing the things that happen before this committee, before this handling process of the committee, because like preambulatory clauses actually do not point out the real solutions for the topics. They do express you how the committee has been led to those solutions. Like, what was the reason that you have taken such an action? What guided you to those actions, or what kind of motivation you had? Like we can give some examples about this. Like, for instance, you're in a committee for women rights, and like you need to in preambulatory clauses, you just mention the things that have been done before you, like the latest conventions about it. Like in a women rights committee, you can just mention Convention of Istanbul, and then you will be taking the actions, the operative clauses, after this mentioning process of the latest actions. And the third step of the draft resolution paper is the part we actually write the operative clauses. Operative clauses are the real things that express us, the actions that have been taken by this committee. It's like, sending a military support to a region. Like this kind of clauses, we point out the real actions that happened in the committee. And after the writing of the draft resolution paper, after we have written the heading, the preambulatory clauses and the operative clauses, we can finally serve it to the committee. We can finally introduce our draft resolution paper to the committee, and we need some motions for this for sure. And then after the chair board has recognized your interest to introduce the draft resolution paper to the committee, you have to introduce it. After that, when every country in the committee acknowledge the matters that you have put into the draft resolution paper, the committee gets into the part that you put a vote upon the draft resolution paper. So in the voting process, like there are so many voting process which we will not be able to mention today because there are so many. Like simply you just after the introduction, every country who stated their presence as present and voting puts a really simple yes or no vote on the draft resolution paper. And the countries who only said present, they can also say we want to stay abstain during the voting procedure. And if after the voting procedure, if the draft resolution paper is acknowledged as a passable draft resolution paper by the committee, by the majority of the committee, you can finally the chair board can finally send the draft resolution paper to the secretariat, which we call as the Under Secretary General of the committee. And when Secretariat also decides that this draft resolution paper is well-rounded and enough for this committee, enough for the discussion and negotiation process of the committee, that draft resolution paper can be legitimate, and then this means that the committee has reached its aim, which was passing a resolution paper, and that's all. I hope it is really helpful, and yeah, that was all.
Okay, thank you so much. We explained what is the resolution paper and the writing of the resolution paper process to you to our guest. Thank you so much for your attending to our interview again, Mrs. Taşdemir. And then also we hope we could make an useful video to you. And please stay home and please be healthy, and see you later.